So oil was good till about 1982. And I can remember my buddy and I were sitting in this bar, and I believe in irony. And he looks at me and he says, Victor LaRasso, he said, Lester, look at this. This place will never go down. Look at the people in this place. The next week you could shoot a machine gun in that place and not hit anybody. Overnight in 1982, the oil companies realized that they had created a glut.
When that Superdome was built, that changed New Orleans.
The crack epidemic kind of started along that era, that late 70s, early 80s, and the children that was children then, they're adults now, and them are the ones that's creating all the crime, a lot of the things, bad things that's going on in the city right now.
The 70s era was like no other. And then there was respect. You wouldn't be calling me a bitch.
We didn't have, drive-by shootings and all that kind of stuff. Mardi Gras Day was usually the day that you took care of all your business. And you rat on me, I got you now. And you got a mask on, so nobody knows who you are.
When I looked up, the whole sky had white clouds, but right in the middle, there was a blue spot. I said, "Oh God, God looking at me." See, that's what's the matter today. A lot of kids don't get that today. They don't get that church, that there's a creator that's watching you. You don't get the commandments, that's what you should do, what you shouldn't do. And that's why they can put the guns to the guy's head and pull the trigger. I've been in fights in the army here, but I never thought of killing anybody.
My mother's people were all German. My father's people were all German. The German Lutherans were all sticking together, and the Catholics were all sticking together. And they had French and Italians that lived south of Canal Street. And of course, people of color. North of Canal Street was people that were basically more English, less German. We had the Irish that lived close to the river and worked on the river and were used and abused when they found themselves over here from the old land in Ireland and built the canal, and many of them died doing it.
I come from a family, I'm 100% Sicilian, second generation born here.
I lived in the 7th Ward, which was a community within itself. It was almost like a family. It was mostly Creoles, but we also had Germans living there and Italians. And because they were a minority at that time in that area, that was our playmates.
I miss, this is something that is like touchy for some people to talk about, but it's the way that the neighborhoods are changing. And my neighborhood used to be much more integrated than it seems to be now.
I never saw the difference myself. People say, well, I'm uptown from downtown. I never saw the neighborhood as being separate. My generation, we intermingled with each other. We didn't have no class lines.
It was just beautiful, shrubs everywhere, and the people were different. They were black, and they were into themselves. They thought they were somebody.
We didn't have any money, but then again, we didn't know we were poor.
That was the happiest time of my life. You know, we grew up free, we grew up carefree, and we did everything all over the French Quarters, all in Congo Square, not knowing that we were walking on history.